Welcome everybody who is gonna listen to this. Welcome if you're gonna hook on live from LinkedIn, and otherwise maybe welcome if you look afterwards to this channel. Today I got Peter Latte with me. He's a very experienced Lego Series Play facilitator. He learned it much earlier than I did, but also he was lately in my training, and he told me in secret that he learned there one or two things as well again. But let's talk about that later. We're going to talk today about different perspectives on how does LSP help you with a different perspective on things maybe on the workflow, but also what kind of different perspective Peter got from LSP. But first, before we start, people know already, of course, who I am. But who is Peter? Where do you come from? Where did your cradle stand? Who are you? What are you doing? And
Okay.
something.
Well, thanks for being in your in this interview, of course. Well, I was born in Limburg, Sittard. At the moment, I'm living in Eindhoven. A lot of stuff is happening there. Well, at the moment, I'm Scrum Master, Agile coach. That's the main business I am busy with customers. And next to that, well, as you already stated, in 2016, I had to look it up actually. In 2016,
Wow.
September 2016, I had my first training. Even I went for that to Germany, Karlsruhe, 4 days training. So it was a very long time ago. And how I experienced actually the first time was not even in 2016. I think the first time I saw it was 2015. I went as an agile coach, a scrum master. I went to a lot of meetups. I organized meetups, and well, once in a while there was somebody doing something with Lego, and well, what's this? What are we doing? And how can I participate? How can I learn it myself? And at that moment, it was really well difficult, especially I had to convince my own manager. Well, this is it. I can use it. We can use it. We can help our customers with it. But he was not really convinced at the beginning. So that took me a little bit longer to make that happen.
What would
Uh,
your manager, if you could skip back time in 2016, he was not
yeah.
so sure. What would he say now?
I think at this moment it is more somehow. I think it's more accepted. In those days,
No,
well,
but with the knowledge that he has now, if we would call him today,
mhm,
that manager,
yeah,
10 years later,
he
what would
is
he said about the investment that you guys made?
fully profitable. Yes, it's really yeah. Um, it went over the top with regard to that, because at that moment, what people were saying, oh, well, he was actually saying, well, this is not going to work, and who is asking for it, and what are you going to do it? And if you now look back, there have been a lot of meetings with customers. I use it, well, not on a daily basis, but I use it at least once a week, something like that. Um, and yeah, well, there are also requests for workshops from customers to do this on site. And yeah, well, as long as they pay, yeah, well, then it is profitable also for him. Eh? That's
Yeah.
and that's the paying one. But also the other side is that, well, if they say Peter is available for new job, new assignment, at this moment it's always also mentioned. Yeah, we are also doing something with Lego Serious Play.
Oh,
It
nice.
is, yes, it is. It's in the beginning it was not, and now they say it's part of his toolbox. And that's actually also the case. I have a lot of experience also in Agile. I'm doing something with Agile since 2006. So that I
Wow.
had to look, I had to look it up. Uh,
They invented Agile then already.
well, yeah, well, 5 years before, so it was starting up. So yeah, in 2016, I simply needed something extra, and this was really popping up. And when I used it in 2016, I was really still a little bit afraid to use it. It was really, do people accept it, and how will it work? The experience of myself, of course. It's that first. Well, simple. Your first workshop by yourself. That is very difficult. And in those days, there were no real possibilities. You had your training, and that's it. And you got your certificate. Here it is, and good luck. And that was it. And well,
You say the old days. What do you mean with that?
yeah, the 2016, and
Yeah, but what changed then with now?
now, well, if I look, I did the refresher with you then at the beginning of the year. Um, Well, we also had already a meeting afterwards. We had our intervision with the same people. We are pushing each other a little bit more to do these kind of things. So yeah, for me it was not really new, but other people are new. Well, we are at least already learning from each other afterwards.
Yeah,
It is not just the training itself.
yeah,
It's still difficult, of course, to do it, your first workshop. But yeah, as soon as as soon as you are over that small, it's a small hurdle. You're doing your workshop, you
it's
do your
just a
first workshop.
psychology small hurdle, right?
It's really, yeah.
Yeah,
And well, actually, on the other hand, the people in your workshop, they have no clue what you're going to do. So for them, it's always good. I have also my first workshop. Everybody was really very enthusiastic, and then afterwards I thought, okay, what did I do? I had my first workshop. It worked. It was a nice outcome. Everybody was happy. Um, Great. Let's do it again. And from that first one, then you really um, yeah you do it more often automatically, actually. You pick your bag with Lego and okay, let's do it. That makes it very fun. It's a tool that you take very easily. It's just like a hammer. Okay, I need a hammer. Okay, yeah, well, I have my Lego. It works. If I had
yeah,
to use some kind of a electric saw, well, I'd have to plug it in, and well, that's not well, that's more difficult to use.
yeah. You always have a little bit Lego with you, right?
Yeah, well, I don't have it in the back anymore, but yeah, I have. I'm a little bit playing with it while we speak.
That's fun. Hey, today we talk about different perspectives.
Yeah.
And different perspectives is of course part of a vision that we as an organization have. But what were for you, what happened in that first time that you played it before you start deciding to do it? What happened with, did something happen with your perspective or not? Because
The first time
apparently it
I
did.
used it myself, you mean,
Yeah,
eh? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's during such a meetup. I was really surprised of myself. Well, I sometimes talk a little bit too much, but during those meetings, it was even the other way around. It was not only the talk, the general talking. I actually dived into more details than I expected myself. It was, yeah, well, meetups. You meet a lot of people. Most of them you don't know.
yeah.
Um, and while using the Lego, we were far more open than in normal situations.
What
Normal
is,
situation, okay, you use your sticky notes and
yeah.
okay, well, you write stuff down and it's put it
But
on.
what do you mean with open?
Um,
Did new
you
relations start, marriages? What do you mean with open?
open. You are telling more. You are more revealing than in other situations. Um, I always when I tell the story, if you have to draw a house on a sticky, where do you live? What would your ideal house look like?
Yeah.
Well, then you draw some kind of a house on a sticky note, and well, this is it. And some people have an extension on it, and a chimney or whatever, these kind of things, a swimming pool around it. Um, but mostly that's it. People look at it. Oh, yeah, fine. Now with Lego, well, you have to build something, and it's a three-dimensional thingy. There is more into your story. People are going to ask you stuff. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? In a drawing or just a writing word, it's not there. There is no you in one way or the other. You invite other people more or less to ask you questions. What's
Mm.
that? What do you mean with that? It's yeah, an open an way to open up the conversation with others.
And you get more into a dialogue than a discussion.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, 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 definitely.
What changed for you if you now as a Scrum Master and as an Agile coach working in teams and you're using it?
Hmm.
What kind of perception change did you experience for yourself by using these tools? Can you give us an example? Hey, I was playing
Hmm.
seriously with some people. What changed for you in a team? Do
For
you
me,
have an
for me
example?
personally,
Yeah, give an
um,
example of a team.
yeah, um, I get people, I get to know them better. Sounds well.
Yeah, what does it
What?
mean?
Yeah. What I normally do with new teams, well, with new teams, I use Lego just to get to know each other. Um, and what I also see, actually always, is that even the people that know each other already for longer, because normally there is already a team, and I step in as the new Scrum Master or the new Agile coach. They know each other already, but then I'm new. So why should we introduce each other? Yeah, I know him, I know her. Well, that's not a problem. But well, then we are going to lose Lego, and they always come up with new stories. They're always, oh, I didn't know that of you, and I didn't know that you were doing that. And they are already working with each other for weeks, months, something like that, something even for years. And then apparently, yeah, what's happening with me that I get in a very short period, let's say 1.5 hours, something like that, I get to know them even more than they knew each other before we
Yeah, on a
started the
deeper
meeting.
level, I guess,
On a
as
deeper
well.
level, yeah, offshore, yeah, 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 of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
instead of just hearing their curriculum vitae or
I
resume
re
passing
yeah,
by.
which I already read on LinkedIn probably, but yeah.
Yeah. And did you had once a new insight, a new perspective that changed your own vision on the company?
Person on the company.
Hey,
Yeah,
you were
well,
working in a company and did I don't know. We didn't rehearse these questions before, so I don't know what your answer is. Was there a moment that you post a question, they start building, and that there was like, oh, I thought it was like this, but now I hear
yeah,
all stories, and now it is different. So did
that
you
that
did you had
that's
yourself a change of perspective?
that's indeed something you have to well prepare yourself for because you never know the outcome actually.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
that that's you have a plan. If you create a workshop, there is
yeah.
of course some kind of a what you want. That's something you discuss with your customer. What do we want to achieve? Or and if I work with my own team, what do I want to achieve? But you never really know exactly where you're heading to. What will be the outcome? So there could be out yeah people will tell stories perhaps that you have to anticipate on, and that would mean that you have to change it. Um, An example what I had with a team member is that he was really introvert. Um, uh, During all kinds of, well, you're talking about agile, of course, retrospectives. Each retrospective, he was really silence. He did the minimum stuff,
Hmm.
writing a word down, and okay, this is it. Do you have more? No, this is it. Okay, do you have extra questions? No, I don't have extra questions. Then we start using Lego Serious Play, and then his models were so detailed. There was so much stuff into his models, and he wanted to talk about his model. It was really, I got a total different perspective of him, what he was. I thought, okay, well, he's not really, well, okay, he's doing the job, and okay, it's fine enough, and I'm doing my job
You were
here.
almost judgmental, like he's not into it or she's not into it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
person is not into it, and then you find out by doing Lego
There was
on a
more.
serious play way.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, he's totally involved.
He was really dedicated. He was not in the company just there until he's 67 or something like that. No, he was there for the company. It was almost his company. He was there for I
Nice.
think 6 7 years, something like that, and he was really into it. And he was really well. He had a lot of ideas how we could improve, and but one way this was for him actually the way to express himself in a, well, also in a safe environment, in a safe way.
Hmm.
Um, that was really for me. I think okay, okay, I had a not good impression of him at first. Okay, gosh, well, this will be a very difficult team with him in it. But afterwards, it was okay. Now I know you more, now much better than before. Now I can do something with you, and perhaps you also with me, because yeah,
Yeah. How
really
was
really
that for the
nice, really
team?
nice. Actually, exactly the same. They also know him already, and he was a valued employee. So that was okay. Um, but they never got really into it. Yeah, he is always doing like that. We accept it, and we had really, yeah, what that was actually a starting point from that moment on to have more discussions. That was one of the teams actually where I used Lego more often than in other teams,
Hmm.
because that was for some reason, yeah, a better way for them to communicate. It was also, yeah, I worked as agile coach for software teams, hardware teams, non-IT teams, and this was a hardware team. So perhaps also that yeah, depends perhaps on the people that are using it. But
Is it only then usable for specific teams, or when would you use
Mhm.
LSP? Would you always use it every day?
No, no, not every day, but there's more than one question actually. So the first
Yeah,
question.
sorry, it's my superpower.
Ah, gosh. Um, well, could you use it for every team? Yes, I use it for all the teams that I was into. I used it, or I could have used it. No problem. So IT, non-IT. I worked at the Chamber of Commerce. It was really nice. And also agile teams actually, creating content. But also there we used Lego Serious Play sessions, and we created nice models. And no somewhere on the floor, because the tables were not big enough. So we created a nice big model on the floor, and we could walk around and discuss all these kind of things. So yes, I think you can use it for all the teams. And then when can you use it? Well, you should not use it if you know already the outcome. Then use something different. If you
What?
know where you're heading to, then then it will not be a Lego serious play thing, I think, but then it's simply that you use Lego because, yeah, well, it's a fun thing to use. You should avoid it to make it a Lego simulation,
Ah,
because that's something different. If you have no idea what the outcome will be, how people will react, I think then LSP is actually in his best way used. I think that's the best.
I think I tend to agree that LSP gives you Lego Series Play, because we use all the time the acronym, but Lego Series Play gives
Yeah.
you answers on questions that you don't have an answer on.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say that LSP, Lego Simulation Play, helps you to give the answer to the people so that they understand, but you know already the answer.
Yeah,
So if you have a
indeed.
question with an answer, and then I would say that simulation is a very good learning tool, but indeed it's something different.
Yeah.
What would be then for you the biggest difference? When would you use LSP as Lego Serious Play? What is so important for you that you make this a point?
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm checking the workshop because I have workshops where I use it as where I use Lego as a simulation,
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
have the other way. That's also the problem which I have with customers. Ah, you're doing something nice with Lego. Yeah, let's have fun. Yeah, okay. If you want to have fun, good. Then I do something with Lego, but I'm not going to do Lego Serious Play. I have a lot of fun games we can do. We can do something with robots and all these kind of things, and very nice. And we look at each other. Ah, how are you doing within the team? How are you acting? Well, then you are using it as a simulation.
Yeah,
Um, if I want to know how my employees feel and what ideas they have, for example, I'm taking some other one. As a company, they wanted to become more green. How
mhm.
can we improve on a green level? How can we become more sustainable
Yeah,
as a company? They had no idea. They had no idea. So in one case, well, it must be fun, and we want you have half hour, and then make it fun and laughing, and afterwards we have a barbecue and drinks, and oh, go tough.
very
Then we
green,
have
the
a
barbecue.
yeah. On the other hand, it was sustainable. We want to become more sustainable, and then we had a whole day on diving into deep. What do we understand? What is sustainable? What's sustainable for you? What's sustainable for you? And how can we combine that? And even I think that was also a very good learning from that whole workshop day that we could agree together, so we could align together what our next steps would be, or could be even, because in the end that was not even the case. They only had some vague ideas. Okay, then the two of you are going to work out that, and the two of you are going to do that. So there were some action points, but that was not known upfront at all. We had to build in a lot of slack and extra questions for, okay, but what if they go left? What then? And if they go right, uh, we didn't know yet what would be the case. Was Yeah, well, so having fun and knowing the outcome and the barbecue and drinks, yes, okay. And the more serious part, also still having fun because it was a very nice day and people had fun, but yeah, more on a serious level.
Yeah,
We
and
we
it's a
are working
different kind of
towards.
fun, right? It's not
Yeah,
just fun for fun, but
correct.
it is fun to do.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. If you would hear the quote, team building is collateral damage, how would you look at it? So I make sometimes the quote, when I do Lego Series Play in your organization, the team building part is collateral damage. Sorry for that. Your team will also improve, but that's not my workshop about. How would you explain that?
But then you're talking about
Lego
using
Series
Lego
Play.
Play for the team building.
Lego Serious Play. So they do
Yeah.
something, and I think sometimes I answer questions, and they went, "Oh, that's much more than Lego than team building."
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I fully agree with you, but well, that's fine.
That's good.
Because I use Lego Serious Play indeed also for team building.
I could do that too.
Yeah. Well, you're saying now that you're not doing it because you said could.
Well, I could do a Lego. So sometimes I do a Lego series play
Oh,
just for team building. But
yeah.
in general, my Lego series play workshops are on topics that they're really stuck at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I say, oh, the team building part is almost collateral damage. Yes, they come more closer with team than
Yeah.
they were before, but the main focus was solving that problem instead of just
Yeah.
team building.
Yeah. Because I use it as team building, but then for the parts of knowing each other
Yeah,
or well, no, checking also we're saying also the same thing because as an example, the well, not the last one, I asked them to build somebody else in the team, and then we had a discussion. So, okay, who could this be? Tell something you're not allowed to name, but what's in it? So that's yeah, getting to know each other for a team that already knew each other up front, working together for a long time. So then build each other and let's talk about it. I use it for getting to know each other up front. They had no clue at all. Who am I? What am I doing? What was my background? All these kind of things. Um, there, I think Lego CSJ is very helpful because otherwise it's just, hey, I'm Peter. I'm living in Eindhoven, girlfriend, two kids. Yeah, Scrum
yeah,
Master
true.
2016, done.
Yeah,
Now, then I have to build something. Yeah, well, I'm Peter, and I have more stuff to do. I have a long road to go. I always looking for something ahead. There's always something I want to do, and of course there are always some hurdles in between. So there is already more than just
yeah,
yeah some wording.
yeah.
There I think team building is very good.
Yeah, it is. You know, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I don't say it is bad. Eh?
No, no.
It's more that it's a side
It's
effect. It
healthy.
happens.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's
um,
sometimes breaking the ice.
yeah,
Yeah,
for something completely different.
yeah.
If I look at LSP, I very often get the perspective that LSP in an agile world you could use ideally for a retrospective. And then with a lot of new people, it's almost like, well, you can use it for retrospective. And that's it.
Hmm.
If you are a little bit more seasoned, you work already longer with it. Are there any rituals, events that we have in an agile way of working or in Scrum maybe as a guide that you could use LSP in, and how would you use it then? Could you give a short?
Yeah. Well, I just I don't didn't use it only for inspectors. Yes, I use it of course, but I use it also for planning sessions. I think that's the biggest example I would say. Um, checking the planning session. Okay, what's our backlog? What do we need to do? A little bit refinement was in it already because first they had to build, of course, the okay, what are our main ideas for the upcoming. Well, that was actually for a whole year. They had to put almost yeah the whole year in different models. Um, I um, I created a long table. I put some tables next to it, 4 quarters, and I said, okay, listen, I have seen your huge backlog for each. Yeah, it was not on story level. It was a little bit higher, but okay,
On
more
epics maybe or on
epics. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, something like that. So build a model of your epic, and then put it in the quarter where you want to have it. Well, that was a nice exercise because everything appeared in quarter 1. So that was really it became very visual. That well, yeah, it must be done in quarter 1. Okay, but if we do everything in quarter 1, what are these teams then going to do in 2, 3, and 4? Because then do we send them home or yeah, well, there is not much budget, I assume, because this is the backlog. This is everything. So we had a very nice discussion on that, and well, they had to split it up. They even had to split stories, epics, into small stories. Okay, this is huge. Okay, interesting. Last week I had a splitting story.
That's almost like a refinement if you start splitting up the story.
Indeed, yeah. In the end, it became also a refinement because they had to split up the epic into different stories, and then they could say, okay, then this first part, quarter 1, the other ones quarter 2, or even quarter 3, or even later, or even we don't do it now.
Mhm.
That was one example, and then even the dependencies again. Okay, if this is being done in quarter 1, then the other thing can only start in quarter 2. So we created with long tubes dependencies between the different stories. So we started very small,
Mhm.
well, very small epics that were very small. That was very strange at the beginning for everybody because they were very quickly. I want to have just name an example, website this part and a small payment providing on this part, and that's done. Okay, payment. Okay, but what does it mean, payment? You can make it as big as you want, and it became multiple activities divided
Yeah.
over multiple quarters. And then again, it was not only one team; it were multiple teams, so they even had to discuss it with each other. So stakeholder alignment for the PO, this was a really huge and very helpful session to align stakeholders with planning and understanding each other because we had to dive into these models more into that than just a small card saying I want this
Yeah.
because of this. It became visible. It became there was a lot of discussions. It was a very helpful session. So planning session, refinement sessions. I was thinking the only thing I haven't used it yet is the daily, and that makes it. Yeah, I'm not sure. A daily 15 minutes, very short, and I'm not sure if that would help in a daily.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I have no clue. Now we are talking about it.
Yeah. You
I
have maybe
never
a
used
duck
it.
there.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a duck. Everybody that listens to this blog, I think, knows already. It's like 6 bricks, right?
Yeah.
And there's, of course, a couple of things that we do in a daily in general, what I would do in a daily. And it is, are we going to make the team? Are we going to make the team goal? Are we going to get our sprint goal? But also, I would like sometimes to know in a daily, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And if you look to your sprint that you have to do, Peter, could you show me the duck, how you feel in achieving the goal for the sprint?
Yeah.
We have like 2 seconds to build. And yeah, it's so, but this one is it. What?
Yeah.
Why would it be this one? Can you explain it to me?
Yeah. Well, not everybody can see it. I have to where's my camera? That way.
Yeah.
I built this duck upside down, I would say.
Ah.
Um, I'm a little bit puzzled about the question. So it's upside down a little bit. I'm
But
a little
this
bit
is how
upside
I
down.
could.
Yeah,
Now
how
I
you
can
could do it,
imagine
huh?
that I use it
Yeah,
in a daily. Hey, how are you in achieving the sprint, and how do you feel with it? Oh, I feel a little bit upside down in achieving the sprint, in the
yeah,
sprint goal. So this is how you. But then I
yeah,
would choose to use really a little bit Lego because the daily is of
is
course time
short.
boxed in 15 minutes. Then
Yeah,
they need 20
perhaps.
minutes to build.
Yeah,
So I used it sometimes that people would have the window expiration bag, the small bag,
Yeah.
and they would get before the daily already all
Ah,
the
yeah,
time and
yeah, yeah.
what they should build, and they were all online, so they would show it and then tell where they were with the sprint and what their obstacles were to achieve the sprint or why it would be a smooth road.
Yeah. How much time did you give them
It's the
up
same
front?
time as a normal. Oh,
No, but up front.
I would. What I did is that I asked the team. Today it's Tuesday, right? And
Yeah.
I would ask the team by the end of Tuesday or by the end of the daily of Tuesday. Hey, tomorrow I want to do the daily.
Okay.
And they
Okay.
go. And please, what you want to tell it, build it in bricks.
Yeah.
But for me, that would be in a team that knows already Lego Series Play,
Yeah. That's
and with a team that is getting stuck in just giving repetitive, so like all the time the same answers in the
yeah.
morning, just to get rid of that daily. This
Yeah.
helps to get a different perspective on the whole idea.
Yeah. That's the only. Yeah. Well, I say I've used. I think I use it for all the events.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
because you said, oh, I do it outside retro, especially with a planning. But in that story, you used it in all the other moments as well.
Yeah. As well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Super
That's.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not aware when not to use it, because I think you can always use it. You only need to make sure that your team is knows it a little bit, so that you have to put some investment in it upfront. And then I think you can do all the events.
Yeah.
You have to, a little bit more preparation somehow, but yeah, I never use it for the daily. That's for sure.
As Scrum Master or as an Agile coach, you know it's not easy. You have to sometimes put effort in it to
Yeah,
start getting things back.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if I would be a Scrum Master that is not yet certified, what would you say to me? Why would it be interesting to get certified? Do
Um,
this 4 days, this e-learning, this
yeah,
math. It's almost I calculated the other day. It's more than 50 hours of study in a quarter. It's a high ballast to do, but
yeah.
why would I do it?
Um, I think you should have a proper education on this one, because you're going to be a facilitator. And being a facilitator is not something just standing in front of a group and say, hey guys, do this and do that. And oh, I have a question, build this, build that, and talk to each other. And there's more. And because you don't know um, how your workshop will go, because you try to do it in different, but you're not 100% sure how the workshop will end.
Mm.
Sometimes it will be very good. Sometimes there will stuff happening during your workshop. You have to anticipate. And those kind of things are very important to know how you will act yourself on these kind of things. What will you do if people are going to block? I can't build. I have no clue. What I can't see it. I don't have the correct bricks with me. What are you going to do? How are you going to act with that? What will be the impact on the other participants? How will you handle that? What will happen if you agreed something with your customer and during the workshop it appeared that your participants are going into a total different direction? Um, will you stop your workshop or are you going to continue? Those kind of things, that's something you need to have a proper education of these kind of things. You need to have a lot of background knowledge on it. How are you going to question you? What questions are you going to ask? Open, closed. How are you going to help them with sharing their story? um, it's not just putting a sentence on the PowerPoint. Listen, guys, this is the question. Build. You have 1 minute.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Good luck. Yeah, and discuss it with each other. And hurry up because we only have 1 hour. That's something that's not going to work. Um, and that's also well, I did my first training in 2016. Why did I do the training again with you this year?
Yeah,
Well,
why?
yeah, why? Well, two reasons actually. It's actually two reasons. Because I wanted to have a refresher for myself. What happened in the last 8 years? What, how am I doing it actually? I learned something and I start doing it myself more and more often, bigger workshops. And am I doing it still in the wrong, right way? But how am I doing it? Is something changed or whatever? But also, and I think that's because I got some wordings on the well, the how do you call it? The first part, the theory.
Yeah, the theory
Yeah, the
booster. We
theory.
have the
Yeah,
whole e-learning in forehand.
the
Yeah,
e-learning. Yeah, the e-learning. That what was
yeah,
I'm looking for. I really found that really helpful because that was a part which I know that, and I know that, and well, actually, I think your e-learning takes 5 hours.
yeah. Some people 8, but between 5 and 8 hours.
Yeah, I think I was the eighth one.
Well, you wanted to get everything out of it what was in it.
For me it was really okay. Yeah, this was it, and that was the reason why I'm doing it. Or oh, okay, that's the reason why I should doing it. So there is more. I think I see a lot of that just like Scrum Masters. I give Scrum Master courses, and people come to the course, and well, then I'm a Scrum Master. That's not the case. It's not just about getting that certificate, doing a course for 1 or 2 days, and then okay, exam for what is it, 1 hour, something like that for PSM, for Scrum
Yeah,
Master. You are not a Scrum Master afterwards. Yeah, well, on paper you are Scrum Master, but you are. I'm not sure you can do it. I think the same with an LSP facilitator. Legacy is play. It's not about just that certificate, and now I can say I'm a legacy is play certificate facilitator. It's more. There is you need to do. You have to learn. It's always keeping learning, reflection, interaction with your fellow facilitators, helping each other. I think that's the reason why you should do a proper training up front, and you can't do that in 1 day. It's basics. Well, if you want to do basics, yeah, and if you want to name it, yeah, fine. But becoming a real good facilitator, there's more than that. There's more behind it.
yeah. Last question. If you have to give any advice to our community members, because we have a whole community and I know that you learn a lot from them as well. What do you say to the community that is going to watch this for sure? What do you say to them?
Yeah, I would say, well, those are already all facilitators.
Yeah, or people who
Uh,
know it. And they're
yeah,
listening new people and they're listening people that are already seasoned.
yeah.
What would you say to them?
I think very important, and that is something I missed the last year. Yeah, pretty much actually. That's some kind of an intervision. Have some kind of a meeting with people that are also doing this or want to do this, and come up with cases where you discuss with each other how you approach that. Because I
Hmm.
think that's something that there is not much availability at this moment. Well, I know for the LSP, Legacy of Space Facilitators, we have an event. There is a big event in Denmark every year, once a year. But apparently there is not that's I think 2 days, 2.5 days. In those 2.5 days, there's I think half a day where you can have discussions with each other.
Yeah.
Really discussions. I have a question, I have a help question, and who can help me? And that's not there. You have to find something in your own country or whatever online, and that's something where you can have discussions with each other. Put in your case, how would you do it? How can you help me? How can we help our customer in this case? How can you help me with setting up a workshop? This is a very difficult question. Uh, I think that's something I learned, and that's something I would really give as an advice to, well, LSP people, facilitators, or facilitators to be. Um, if you're going to do this, also find a small group where you can find like-minded people where you can discuss these kind of things.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Let's start that.
yeah,
For all the people that watched, the 45 minutes flew by. I want to thank Peter very much and see you all next time.
yeah. Thanks.